Hello, welcome back, welcome to the channel. Tonight we are going to be doing a little story time, but with me, Gudmund. I have a whiteboard here, and we're going to draw a bit of my life. Where I was born, how I ended up in this predicament with that guy. So let's get started. I have a dry erase marker below me. If I try to get it. Yeah, right here. So, alright. I'm gonna need help doing the drawing, as my arms are a little bit small. I can erase things with them, but it's going to be difficult to draw. So I'll be back. So it all started when my mother met my father, as you can see right here. I don't know who's who, but they met and then they had me. You see me right there? Wasn't I very cute? Now, I actually never met my parents. And I don't, well, the place that had me stay for a bit until I got adopted. See, they told me that I had two parents. But I don't know about that, though. I don't know. I never met them. But that's okay. Because I have a family here. So, but anyways. So, my parents had me, and I'm right there. I was very tiny. I was very small. And I had like a little curl on my head, as you can see right there. I think I did. I mean, I'd like to believe that there was a little curl. Although there's hair everywhere. I mean, I was kind of bald back then, as a baby. I kind of look small and round. But now I am big and strong. Anyways. So, my parents had me, and I went to a place, and it was a big place. There was lots of other animals there. There was like kangaroos and elephants and giraffes, and there were fish, and there was a bass. It was a smallmouth bass, I believe. I was friends with him. He was nice. There was like a squirrel and an otter and a beaver. I thought I was a beaver, but my tail's different. Even though I got the beaver teeth, I'm a groundhog. I like to dig holes. Except there's no dirt in this room. I tried digging and Alex got mad at me. So he took a pile of clothes and he let me dig in it. I didn't get very far, but it made me feel like home, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, so I went to this big place, lots of animals, and one day everything went dark, and I ended up in like a weird place, but I couldn't see anything. I got tossed around and stuff like that, and then I don't know, just ended up somewhere. It was an adventure, really it was. Well, the place that I ended up in was some type of giant warehouse. I don't know. I guess that's what they call it. I'll draw what it looked like and what I saw. We'll be back. So I ended up ended up in a place called Amazon. I think that's spelled right. I don't know actually. But anyways, I opened the box, so there was a little bit of a slit, and I stuck my paw with my nail, and I went zoop, and I opened the box, got out, and there I am right there. Looking around, there's humans wandering around. I did see humans back where I used to live, I did, but they were like wearing uniforms and stuff, and there's all types of other things there, and it was interesting, to say the least. But, you know me, adventuring and all, I had to get out of there, so I jumped out the box, and I wandered, looked around, saw lots of things, and I think one of the workers or something started freaking out because he saw me or something like that, but it's not a big deal or anything, and he fainted or something. He just fell on the floor. I don't know. I guess he's never seen a groundhog before. Maybe they don't have groundhogs in Florida. I don't know. Anyways, so I walked around, looked at big place, huge place. Saw very weird things for sale, I guess. People were buying them or something. I don't know. I learned a lot when I was there. They had a giant room and they had a TV and they were talking about stuff. Anyways, it was kind of boring. So I went outside. Just waltzed my way out the doors. They were open. So I just went out. There's some woods next to the place, and I just walked in the woods. I found a hole in the ground, and I went down it. I was pleasantly surprised when a turtle came out. It was a gopher turtle, and apparently they are endangered here, so I fought it because he was being kind of rude. He was like, "Get out of my hole." And what do you mean? I'm a gopher. I mean, I'm a gopher. I mean, a groundhog. I mean, same thing, right? And I was like, this is my home. I thought it was empty. I did. But he said I need to get it out, so I went out. We didn't actually fight. I just said that because I just... Never mind. So, I talked to him a bit. His name was Steven. He was nice. But he said that it was a giant distribution company that sells things all over the world. So I guess I was in it. But anyways, I decided to continue walking and not go down any more holes because Stephen did tell me, be careful, there are snake holes and different other holes that you should not venture into. So I took his word and I decided not to do that. So on my way, waltzing around the woods, sightseeing, beauty, a lot of mosquitoes, that's for sure. But anyways, what else? Well, I was in the woods for a couple days, actually. Now thinking about it, I was getting, I don't know, really, I was going to be, I don't know where I was going in that box. I didn't even look at the label. But, anyways, it doesn't matter though. I was free and not confined to the chains of, being inside all the time. So, I wandered around the woods, and, I'll draw that. I'll be right back. So, I was in the woods for a couple nights, a couple days, there I am right there. I climbed a tree, even being a groundhog, I can still do it. I can still climb. These arms are usable. Grab, pull up, grab, pull up, grab, 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 grab. See, I've got it. Anyways, I climbed the tree, I sat on the branch, pondered, thought about life, thought about where I was from, what the meaning of life is, just those exponential, I don't know how to say the words. I'll just trying to say these big words, but I can't pronounce them. Anyways, so just, thinking, pondering, looking at nature, how beautiful it is, the cycles of life, basically, all that, where I'm from. If I ever met my parents, I don't know, that's what I've been told, but at the same time, I know where I'm from, so I don't need to know. Anyways, so I saw this very nice tree in front of me. It was different than the pine trees I'm used to seeing. I guess they call it a palm tree, but it kind of has a weird looking base, like goes up, and the texture of the skin on the tree is kind of like rough, kind of like it's like small tiny little tweaks on the side. And then sometimes there's these brown ball things up in the leaves, and if you get right under it, just like perfectly, it'll fall on your head and knock you out. It happened to me. Do you see it? No. There was a massive welt on my head. But one of the birds, it was a crow, he told me to go under the tree and like to look up at the tree, and then he started pecking it, and then it came and hit me in the head. Oh well. I think I deserved that. I started speaking to him. I started crowing at him, basically. He was making these sounds like ga 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 ga, and I went back at him like ga 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 ga. And then he came up to me and was like, "Hey, go over to that tree." And then he pecked on it and bonked me on the head. Oh well. Anyways, those are some stories. And anywho, so I'm here pondering, looking at stuff and all that, and I'm like, I'm a groundhog, and I like to dig holes. The ground is very clayey, and it's hard to dig holes here. I mean, the gopher turtle could do it, but I don't know. I need to find somewhere with a lot of sand, So on I went to find me some sand. I'll be back. So on I went on my journey looking for sand, and I found it. But it wasn't all that was just sand. There was water. It was salty water, and I found a piece of driftwood. Well, we'll get to that soon enough, but anyways, so off in the distance, I was walking for quite some time, probably a couple of days, and I see something in the distance, like a mirage, basically. Like, what is that? And I walk up to it, and it smells very fishy. It actually stinks really bad. Ooh. But anyways, I go up to it, and I go to the very edge, right there, and the water just splashes me, and I go flying, and I tumble around and get all sandy and salty. No, it wasn't good. It went in my nose, and I was sneezing, and I was felt really bad. Oof. But anyways, so I saw the sand, and I started digging it. It was fun to dig a hole. I dug it really deep, but I couldn't dig too deep. Actually, I went so deep that it started to get really hot, so I started digging back up. I dug a tunnel system, basically. I'll show you the tunnel system, but first, when I was, just observing the water and the waves, I saw this penguin or something, and it was surfing on the wall. It had like a piece of driftwood or something just riding on the waves, and he came up to me, and he was talking in a weird accent. I think his name was Maverick or something. I don't remember, but he showed me how to ride on a board. So me and Maverick, I found a piece of driftwood. I think it was a piece of like rotten cypress or something like that, and we just rode the waves, and I learned how to ride on a surfboard. And that's what they call it. So it was fun. I actually picked up a hobby basically. So that was like my first one, surfing. So I surfed for quite a few nights and days. It was really fun, and I was very hungry too. I hadn't eaten for so many days. So I actually found these things that were in the beach, in the water, and it was called sand fleas. They were like alive, but I guess Maverick was eating them, so I ate them, and they were like wiggling in my mouth, and I was like crunch, 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 killing them basically. But anyways, I'm joking. We took them and put them over the fire. They were good. They're like popcorn. But anyways, so for a bit, I'll show you my home that I made in the sand. I'll be back. Alright, well, here is the tunnel system that I dug. Starting from right up here, came down, went down here, around here, went over here, went over here. There was a crab right here, and it just like, it was pinching me, and sorry. So there was a crab, and it came out, and he was like, oi, oi, this is my home too. But anyways, we got it figured out. But went up here, we went down here, we went around here, and it got right there. And it turns out just a few more inches and I would have gotten back to where I was, because I gave up right there and I just walked all the way back. It took a long time, but I slept down there, and that place right there was my favorite spot. I slept there for a long time, until the ocean came up and flooded me out. So I decided to pack it up. It's time to go somewhere else, more dry. On my way, I went off in the distance. I made some friends, definitely made some friends. Crab friends, seagulls, pelican, these little birds that run really fast. They're called sandpipers. I met a few of them. There's actually some twins I made friends with. The Piper boys. So, I miss them. I haven't seen them in a long time. But Alex says that we'll go to the beach one day. So, hopefully I see them there. Alright, well. Anyways, so, on my way, on my journey, I actually got grabbed by eagle, and I thought it was over with. My life just flashed before my eyes. Something just grabbed me. I was just walking, minding my own business, strolling around, and something just grabbed me, and it just sharp claws just bit into the back of my back. I don't know if you can see it. It's right there. See that? That was his talon stuck right there. It hurt. But he brought me up to a nest. And there's a bunch of like babies in it. And then he was trying to pick me up and stick me down the throat. Down his throat, basically. Obviously it didn't fit. I'm huge. But I basically got into a boxing match. I was beating him up. So I won, fair and square. I won. Yeah. I didn't hit the babies. No. I beat the parents up. They apologized, And they actually just kicked me out of the nest. They did this back thing with their leg, and and I went flying out the nest, far down. Luckily, I landed in a pile of feathers, very soft feathers too. And but I just went on my way, just walking some more, and something else happened. I'll draw it. I'll be back. Well, so the thing that happened was I was walking down this road, and well, you see, I forgot to drink water, and basically I fainted slightly. Yeah, that's me right there. Yeah, I didn't, the X on my eye is like I'm asleep, basically. I'm hung-chewing. Me. I'm just blowing Z's, basically. And as I was just staring up, looking at the hot blazing sun taking everything from me, I heard something, and it was a vehicle. A car just pulled up. They didn't run me over. Somebody stepped out. That person right there, they stepped out. And they came over. And they said, "Oh, look, a roadkill. I'm going to go put this in my pot and cook it up." And I didn't really hear that. I just saw this hand come down and pick me up. I heard the sound of an electric car. You know how it goes, ooh, as it's driving by, like, the pearly gates are here to take me. So I got lifted up, I got put in the car, and I got taken away. And so I wake up, and I wasn't actually getting cooked, let's just say. I was actually in a little bed. I had drinking some water. Actually, I had like a tube running to my mouth, and there was water going in it. It was like a little hospital bed, but not really a hospital bed. It was like a stuffed animal bed, I guess you could say. Anyways, I guess I didn't look edible enough, basically. It was some old man who picked me up, and he did say he was going to cook me, but, well, let's just say I didn't have much meat on me, so basically that kind of saved me. So if I did, would he have eaten me? No. I got to know him for quite some time. He had an old dog, and his name was Hank. What a very common old name, I think, for a dog. He was an old lab named Hank. It was black lab. It was a nice lab. He was very nice. I got to sleep right next to him every night. We slept on the floor, outside. It was okay. He was protective, though. He was a nice dog, Hank. I miss him. Anyways, so I was there for a little bit. Me and the old man. I don't actually know his name. He was something. Some very, I don't know. Maybe I'll visit him one day, like everyone else. But anyways, so I was with Hank, or the lab, and the old man for quite some time. We would go out hunting and rattlesnake hunting, and the old man, he, as a job, he would go and collect invasive species out in the Everglades, and that's where I was, the Everglades. So I would go with him and Hank. You know, Hank was an old dog, and he was kind of lazy, so they made me get the rattlesnakes. I mean, they didn't force me, but I volunteered. They saved my life. I'll gladly wrangle a snake for them. So I did. I wrangled a few snakes. I put a whooping on them. That didn't really hurt them though. They were alive, of course. I made friends with one of them. His name was Slytherin, I think. He was cool. He was nice. He was chill. Yeah. We were friends for a little bit, and then some people took him. But pretty sure he's still around. I did see him on TV. I did. I think that was him. I don't know. Anyways, so I wrangled snakes for quite some time, and it was fun. Adventures. Things to tell people later on in life. This is what I did. Back in my day. Back in the old day. Go to school uphill both ways. Anyways, so okay, I was with them for quite some time, and then, well, eventually, I think, I don't actually know what happened, but I don't know. I'm gonna draw it. I'll be back. Well, so one day, so the old man and Hank, they moved away, and, well, I don't think they did it on purpose, or they didn't mean to. They had to, because just things weren't working out, and, but that was okay. They told me that they could always find me. Hold on. I could always find them. By just looking up at the stars, following the star that was like right up. It's a star that's like kind of to the right in the sky. It's not very big, but they said follow that star and they would find them. So one day when I go looking for them, I will follow the star. But anyways, I was walking, down the street, yada yada yada, tippy-doo, doing a little run, a little sprint here and there, and it started raining a lot, and I was getting really wet. My coat, it was, damp, and I was starting to smell musky and stuff like that, but anyways, I needed some shelter, so I ran up some stairs and I went underneath some, porch thing. And then, suddenly, a door opened. And there was a figure. And it was that person right there. And, I walked in. And, we talked a bit. And I became his roommate. So there I am right there. I have my own bed, and he sleeps on the floor. Imagine that, he gave up his bed. So I sleep on the bed, and he sleeps underneath the bed. No, never mind. That's where he keeps me. You keep me under the bed, don't you? No, I don't do that. Yes, you do. You know how many dust bunnies I've been collecting on my fur? Shh. No, don't you. Anyways, it's alright. Sometimes I'm under the bed, sometimes I'm on the bed. Sometimes I am staring at him in the night and planning to tie him up and get all his animal buddies he's made and put him in the closet. But of course, as a joke though. As a joke. Okay. Anyways, it really is a joke. I don't mind. I mean, I don't like being behind the bed and getting all dusty, but it's okay. It's fine. Sometimes I put dust in his hair, and he doesn't know. Shh. I don't actually do that. Okay. What? Anyways, but it's fine. It's fine. Alright, anyways. So, yeah, that's, that's, there I am right there. All cozy. It's nice here, it's nice. Alex says one day we're gonna go on an adventure. I hope that day comes soon, because I'm tired of being, I need some adventure. And it will happen. It will happen. And, soon enough. It will happen. But anyways, we have a good time. We chit-chat and laugh and giggle. Make things like this, I guess. And, yep. Well, so... Alrighty, I think that's going to be it for this story time. Well, it's more of a Draw My Life with Gudmund and me. So, I hope to see you guys again some other time. Maybe in the future sometime. Alright, well, have a good day, good night, and we will see you in the next one. Goodbye.